Well, hello all, and welcome to the Cyber Safety News Show here on the Safety News Network. My name is Adam Blue. And as we get a couple months into 2024, we've seen cyber attacks continue. They use some of the same methods as before. Some are getting a little more advanced. But I thought this would be a good time to look at the top cyber attacks of 2023 to get an idea of what could be continuing on in 2024. I think most notably would be the more social engineering side of cyber attacks. But what are they actually attacking while using like social engineering, for example? We're gonna jump into that. So if you haven't, please subscribe, like the video. Let me know below a cyber attack you know of in 2023 that you thought was pretty interesting. But let's check in with, this is InfoSecurity Magazine. This is an article by James Coker, Top 10 Cyber Attacks of 2023. Again, it's kind of good to look back and see what's gone on before to get an idea of what to be careful, what to look out for in 2024. If you haven't checked out previous videos where we talked about what predictions of cyber attacks could be in 2024 in terms of technology and what's being utilized. So yeah, let's take a look back here. The first one from 2023, Royal Mail faces huge financial loss following Lockbit attack. So in January 2023, it emerged that UK's postal service, the Royal Mail, was hit by a ransomware attack, which resulted in a temporary halt to international deliveries. Data was also stolen by the attackers. The Royal Mail refused to pay the $79.85 million demand. So this is a ransomware thing from the Lockbit group to return the stolen data. However, the service revealed it had experienced huge financial costs as a result of the attack, including large revenue losses, and the company is said to have spent $10 million on ransomware remediation. So, huge financial loss, had to spend 10 on remediation, getting security people involved, maybe shoring up their technology. But does the financial loss and the 10 million equal the 79 million that was demanded from them? That would be interesting to see, because the idea is, how far can we go without paying the attackers the ransom? This reminds me, what is it, Air Force One? Harrison Ford. That whole thing about not paying terrorists out or anything like that. Not negotiating with terrorists. It's kind of the same sort of thing. Well, let's move on. Enormous data breach at T-Mobile. Do you have T-Mobile? I do. International telecoms giant T-Mobile admitted, actually no, I have AT&T. They've been hacked too. Have admitted that 37 million customers had their personal and account information accessed by a malicious actor via an API attack that began on November 25th, 2022. So an API attack, so this is how you get applications to communicate with other applications that aren't in the same ecosystem, something called an API. It's kind of like having a highway or a phone direct line, and someone hijacked that pretty much. The incident was not discovered until January 5th, 2023. In a separate incident, T-Mobile USA notified customers of another breach of personal and account data that occurred in February and March 2023. The breaches mean many millions of customers are vulnerable to follow-on fraud attempts. So, sure, we're calling out T-Mobile, but these same things happen to AT&T, any communication business. In fact, who knows if an attack actually happened last year that we just haven't heard about yet, and we might. Anywhere you're going to have your data, it's going to be hacked. Just keep that in mind. City of Oakland declares state of emergency after ransomware attack. In February 2023, the administration of the City of Oakland, California, declared a state of emergency as a result of a ransomware attack. A state of emergency. The incident shut down many non-emergency services while government buildings were forced to close temporarily. It was later reported that the hacker stole a decade's worth of sensitive data from city servers in the attack, including information about employees in sensitive roles, such as the police. That's something I've heard a lot about recently. I live in Texas in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and that's something that recently happened to Dallas, is their data being stolen. Okay, this is a big one, the MoveIT file transfer exploitation. Every once in a while I brought up MoveIT last year, when I started doing this show, because that was a big thing. So here's some more information on it. The exploitation of a zero-day vulnerability in the popular file transfer software MoveIT is thought to have impacted thousands of organizations ranging from media to healthcare. The flaw was first exploited by the notorious Clop ransomware gang in May 2023. Clop, I love that name, continued to successfully compromise end users despite a patch being deployed by May 31st. The fallout from the attack is believed contributed to a record number of ransomware attacks in July 2023. 5. Chinese espionage campaign infiltrates U.S. government. Microsoft discovered a Chinese cyber espionage campaign that enabled the Storm 0558 group to gain access to customer email accounts from May 15, 2023. This included employees in the U.S. State and Commerce Departments and other U.S. government agencies. To launch the campaign, the attackers compromised a Microsoft engineer's corporate account, leading to the tech giant being criticized and even accused of negligence by a U.S. lawmaker, which, man, that's a hard place for Microsoft to be in because they're so huge, large footprint, tons of servers, so many bodies are using them, from government to mom and pops to individuals. And if someone is not taking care of their security, that can get them into Microsoft systems, which is very interesting because even within the Microsoft security systems nowadays, there's a lot of defaults they put in place, like default MFA, default blocks, default this, default that, because Microsoft, while they have their service for others to use, are wanting to protect their services, so they're having to put security in place where end users just don't. That's a good example there. Okay, number 6, UK Electoral Commission attack exposes 40 million voters' data. 40 million? In August 2023, the UK's Electoral Commission revealed it had been the victim of a complex cyber attack exposing the personal data of anyone in the UK who was registered to vote between 2014 and 2022. Worryingly, the attackers had remained undetected in the systems for 15 months, suggesting they were in search of something beyond quick financial gain. It was later reported that the Electoral Commission had received an automatic failure during a Cyber Essentials audit. Okay, 40 million. That number alone is what puts this in the top 10. 7. Casinos taken down by cyber attacks. In September 2023, hotels and casinos giant MGM Resorts International reported that it had experienced a cyber incident affecting critical parts of its business for several hours. The attack perpetrated by the I remember looking at this Black Hat ransomware gang. Check that video out. I did that previously where I covered this attack. Cost the firm more than $100 million after refusing to pay the ransom demand. Just days after the MGM incident, another Las Vegas-based casino and hotel chain company, Caesars Entertainment, revealed it had also been compromised by ransomware threat actors. Seen a lot of ransomware going on last year. Number 8. Logistics firm closes due to ransomware attack. One of the UK's largest privately owned logistics firms, KNP Logistics Group, was forced into administration in September 2023 following a ransomware attack it suffered earlier in the year. The firm will be forced to make over 700 employees redundant, with the business stating that it has been unable to secure urgent investment due to the attack. The incident highlights the serious real-world impact that cyber extortion attacks can have. Yeah, that is for sure. That is, the firm will be forced to make over 700 employees redundant. Wow, that's crazy. All right, 23andMe suffers major data breach. Cover this also. Data or DNA. Data from DNA. Think about that. Your DNA has data, and hackers can get that data. That's pretty scary. And if they can clone a bunch of me, that would be nice. DNA testing firm 23andMe confirmed its customers had their profile information accessed by threat actors following a credential stuffing campaign in October 2023. The threat actor claimed to have 20 million 23andMe data records in their possession, raising concerns that highly sensitive data such as ethnicity could be used against victims. 23andMe later confirmed that over 6 million individuals' information was accessed from the data breach and revealed the hackers were able to access a significant number of files containing information about users' ancestry. So really, they're not getting their DNA samples, which it's obvious, but that's still a lot of personal information, especially on those, DNA websites where you have a profile, you're filling in all your family information, not just you, but others that have fully filled out their profile can link with you. That's just another way to get data for social engineering campaigns. British Library suffers damaging ransomware incident. So this is number 10. One of the world's largest and most renowned libraries, the British Library, was hit by a ransomware attack that took down online and on-site services. The library revealed the attack occurred on October 28th, later confirming that internal HR data was stolen and leaked, and that user data was hacked and offered for sale on the dark web. The Residia ransomware group have claimed responsibility for the attack. So, Yeah, HR data, that's always a big deal because it has a lot of personnel information. They can use that to then do their own type of hacking elsewhere that's not any longer related to where they got the data from. That's what's scary. So the big thing about the top 10 here is what I'm seeing a lot of is that ransomware. It's to steal the data and demand money to get it back. But is that really working? We see a lot of these companies that are just not paying the ransom. They still have to pay something, I guess the fallout of all that, but it doesn't seem to equate the amount that the ransomware attackers are asking for. So it's very interesting to see how that's going to evolve, but also seeing things like the internal HR data being leaked, the 23andMe data. This is also another aspect where I believe we're going to see more in that social engineering carrying on into 2024 and even further, where it's less about the technology used to secure a system and more about how you can trick someone. Trust, in order to get access to things you need. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. Anyway, guys, thanks for checking out this episode of the Cyber Safety News Show here on the Safety News Network. Subscribe if you haven't. Please like the video and leave some comments. What are some cyber attacks you've heard of, or maybe you've fallen victim to one? We'd like to cover that here on the show. But anyway, until next time, stay cool.